Hi, Sean with Live Fire Ranch. On today's episode, training. Or in previous videos, we've referred to this as practicing. And remember from previous videos, practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect. I don't know of anyone on planet Earth that is perfect in their craft. What does this look like? Well, an example of someone who practices a bunch to get really good at what they do could be like elite athletes. They practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice so that when they need their body to do what they need their body to do in the moment they need their body to do it, it does it. Because they've practiced so much, it becomes muscle memory. We see this in sharpshooters, law enforcement, military. We see it in artists, comedians, concerts, right? These individuals practice and practice and practice so that when they get on stage or when they are doing their thing, it just happens. Not magically, because they've been practicing for months, years to get it right. So we need to practice. We need to train. There's a couple of reasons for it. One, we cannot expect our mind and our body to do what we need our mind and body to do in the event that we're ever in a compromising or threatening situation. There's going to be a lot of things that go on with you physically and mentally if you ever had to use this tool. We can't expect in that moment that somehow magically we're going to understand how to use that tool to the best of our ability. That's not the way it works. If we're not practicing and training, we're not going to get the desired result if we're ever in that situation. So we talked in previous videos about using your gun in dry fire practice. Most guns will allow you to dry fire practice them. Sometimes you'll have to put a snap cap or something in like a revolver, but most semi-automatics, go for it. Identify a safe direction, unloaded, no ammunition even in the room, practice away. Some of the other tools we can use are blue guns. Blue guns are a polyurethane gun. I realize the color of this training gun is yellow, but they're referred to as blue guns. There's no moving parts in this. It's a polyurethane-based model. And so we can practice pulling from holsters. We can get sight alignment and sight picture. We get good grip. We can kind of practice with this a little bit. We can use this in like situations where we're going hand-to-hand combat, right? We don't want anything lethal in a game like that. So these have their place. BB guns, airsoft guns, super popular. At Live Fire Ranch, we like to use S.I.R.T guns. Shot indicating resetting trigger is what that stands for. And so a S.I.R.T gun looks like this. The slide doesn't move, but the trigger does. And we've got a magazine that releases. It's a weighted magazine, so it feels like there's cartridges in there, which is kind of cool. You can adjust the weight on that. You can go half magazine, full magazine. But it gives you good balance when you've got it in your hand. This throws a laser dot up on the wall, and it's a good training tool for instant feedback. And so we like to use those a bunch, and we use them in our classes, actually, when you take the basics of pistol shooting class. So we've, in previous videos, established this direction as a safe direction. This direction is also a safe direction. So this whole area is a safe direction for me. Why am I bringing that up? Because even with training guns, we want to point them in a safe direction. We never want to get into the habit of saying, well, that's a real gun, so I need to point that in a safe direction. But this is a training gun, so I don't have to do that. Let's not complicate this. Everything we pick up is pointed in a safe direction. So how do I use a S.I.R.T gun in training? I've established this is my safe area. I'm going to use the wall. You could put a sticky note up. You could put a target up. Or you could just leave it a blank wall. I just leave it a blank wall. I want to practice, in this case, drawing, getting a nice firm grip, getting a nice clean extension, wrapping off a couple of shots, maybe a couple there, coming back and reholstering. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to the range. I've got my wall identified, safe direction identified, and I'm going to practice that fundamental. I'm going to come in, get a nice firm grip, come out, extend nice, and go shot, 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 shot. Come back, finger off the trigger, and reholster. What we want are nice, crisp, clean dots. What we don't want to see are dashes. So we don't want to come out and see this. We're pulling, we're coming out, and we're seeing these dashes. If we see dashes in S.I.R.T training, it means we've got a lot going on wrong. We've got too much going on with our trigger finger, we're healing the gun, we're anticipating recoil, we're just doing something wrong. This allows us to correct those problems before we go out to the range. A couple of minutes a day using a S.I.R.T gun can greatly increase your abilities out on the range for shots on target. And it can get you into that muscle memory so that in the event, probably never going to happen, but in the event that we ever had to use our tool, it is just part of what we do. It's muscle memory, and we don't even have to think about it. So train, practice with whatever you're going to use. Recommendation from Live Fire Ranch is a S.I.R.T gun. And practice just 2 minutes a day. 2 minutes a day. And then a couple weeks later, go out to the range and see what your shots on target will be. I guarantee you'll be greatly improved from the last time you went shooting.